Palantir is a stable growth stock, and today I'm going to be covering my $130,000 position and update you on the stock and the options. As you can see, my portfolio has been doing actually very well. I'm currently at $2.6 million in this portfolio, and I'm going to jump into my Palantir position right now. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm holding in my main portfolio. So I have a $130,000 position on Palantir. My average cost is $21.67, makes up currently 5% of this portfolio. I do have some more Palantir in my other portfolio, 5,000 shares, and I'm currently running a few different option positions. So my overall Palantir position is actually pretty big, and this portfolio and the other portfolio, when you take the aggregate full amount, it's over $250,000. And for me, I'm very bullish on this company. There has been a lot of recent news from investors and speculators, and they have had some serious doubts about the stock. And they've been saying basically that something feels off, don't rush into the stock, and this stock is not worth it. Well, I'm not here to say that this stock is a good stock or a bad stock. I'm just going to give you the objective truth and facts about what Palantir is doing and my opinion on this stock. So the first reason why I have such a heavy position in Palantir is their expansion into AI and machine learning. I do have a degree in data analytics along with finance. Palantir's advancement in AI and machine learning have attracted investors looking for exposure to cutting edge technology. And that's for a really good reason, because AI is a trend, and it is a trend because I actually think it's going to become a big part of our economy. And a company like Palantir is part of this big trend that is continuing to grow very rapidly. And Palantir's platform is increasingly integrated with AI capabilities, which are critical for businesses seeking advanced data analytics solutions. So data is literally the new oil. Data is very powerful for making decisions. It gives businesses pricing power. It gives businesses a competitive advantage. And the most important thing right now is data. And the more data that companies are generating right now, they don't know what to do with it. So a company like Palantir is enabling businesses to make more money. And of course, this is more so on the government side. So, obviously Palantir has crushed it. They have new government and commercial contracts. Palantir continues to secure these, and they have significant new contracts, both with government entities and private sector companies. Recently, high-profile deals demonstrate the trust and reliability on Palantir's technology. Now, let's talk about global expansion. The company's expansion into international markets has opened up new revenue streams. Palantir's ability to adapt its solutions for diverse regulatory environments and industries around the world is seen as a growth driver. And that is very true. I'm traveling internationally now. In fact, I haven't been to the United States in a few years, and I have several homes across the world. And I do see that international markets are growing very quickly. There's so many economies out there that are growing double digits. Just look at India. There is a lot of global expansion, and that's actually something that I really look for when I'm investing in a company. Is I don't want to just be invested in the domestic market of the United States, because I already hold all my money in US dollars. So I want to be more diversified and have access and exposure to the global market. So that is another big positive of Palantir. And also looking at their product innovation, like ongoing product innovation that they have, is actually tremendous. Looking at Foundry and Gotham platforms, stuff like this has just been continues to evolve, and the technology that Palantir is putting out is very strong, because once they get into a company, because the technology is at a higher level, the company actually doesn't know how to get rid of Palantir, which is kind of interesting, right? So once the company goes in, they basically have a long-term perspective, or they have a long-term relationship, which is very powerful for the cash flow of the company. It's very powerful for the financial performance. In fact, that's actually one of the best things about software, and that's why software companies do go for much larger valuation. For example, if you look at a company that really doesn't have a whole lot of, is more of a commodity, right? Like oil and gas, their valuation to price earnings ratio is going to be low. However, if you look at the price to earnings ratio of Adobe software, Adobe has a very high price earnings ratio, because recurring software companies are basically the most valuable thing that investors like, because of the consistent cash flow over a very long period of time. It's very consistent, it's very reliable. Keyword reliable. Oil and gas is not that reliable because it relies on a commodity going up and down, and there's things that can basically replace oil and gas, right? Electric, hydrogen, other factors, right? But for a technology company, if you look at recurring revenue, then in most cases that is very strong, especially if you look at a churn rate. Again, it's really kind of more business terms here, but if you look at churn rate, if the churn rate's low, then the company's going to be worth a lot. And let me tell you, Palantir has very low churn rates in its customers, okay? They have contracts that are like 10 years, and then those contracts are very likely to get fulfilled again. So another 10 years or 15 years, and that's very powerful for the company. And that does go down to the financial performance. So improved financial metrics is a big thing that I'm looking at with Palantir. I do sit and do research about an hour a day. I'm not sitting and slaving by my computer all day to make money. I'm doing quite well just trading options and selling options for income. And by the way, if you do want to have a training program with me, I do have a boot camp that's coming up. That is going to be a 6-week boot camp where I will actually work with you in a very small group and show you exactly how to do this yourself. So if you've been planning to trade options and you want to learn how to do it yourself on a deep level, I have this full program to show you how I do it, so you can basically fish for yourself and have the skills and ability to grow a portfolio to $2.6 million yourself as well. When I look at financials, what I'm looking for is revenue growth. I'm looking for profitability. I'm looking for positive cash flow. And these are some of the big key factors that are important to me, especially when I'm looking at a company that I'm trading long term. So investors are encouraged by Palantir's ability to translate its technological advances and all these, government contracts into actual dollars. So when you look at the actual dollars, I think this company makes a lot of sense, and they're very difficult to replace. So on the financial side, you really can't get a whole lot better when you're working with the government, as well as AI and machine learning, as I mentioned, global expansion, and just general product innovation. Now, I do want to say that, before I show you all the options of what I'm doing and, go deeper into my thought process of where I think support and resistance is, I just want to quickly say that the leadership and the vision of Palantir is just super strong. The leadership team, particularly the CEO, Alex Karp, he did go to my high school. I went to Central High School in Philadelphia, where I graduated from. And I did continue to study University of Pennsylvania, Drexel. I am from Philadelphia. So, looking at Alex Karp, he has a lot of relationships. He has grown a large network. He has powerful connections, and connections do mean a lot. Now, connections didn't mean a lot to me personally, because I'm very proud to say I'm self-made, came from nothing. My parents are from Moldova. And basically, I do think that having relationships, though, and networking is the most powerful thing, and it's the most powerful predictor of wealth in America. So if you look at rich families, the reason why their kids are also very likely to make a lot of money is because most of the time men, specifically fathers, pass down their connections to sons. That is a very common thing to happen. You can see that with Donald Trump. His father gave him $1 million. But it actually wasn't the $1 million that made Trump successful. Like we saw that the small loan $1 million, but it was actually the relationships, the experience that was passed down to Trump from his father. So looking at CEO Alex Karp, there is a lot of power there, okay? And I like to make those type of bets. I like to look at founders that are strong. In fact, even if I didn't look at Palantir and you just told me that Alex Karp is going to lead this business, this would be a big deciding factor for me to invest in the company, because a founder that has had a successful exit, who has become a billionaire, who starts another company, is likely to do that again. Success makes more success. So Alex Karp is viewed as a visionary, and he's capable of steering the company through complex challenges, which is very important in this market. The market is always complex, all right? People ask me, is this a good time to invest in the market? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? Well, the truth is, the market's always going to be complex. It's always going to have volatility, because if it didn't, life would be easy, and that's just not how life works. So in complex times, which is all times, you do need a CEO who is a visionary, who is like a Steve Jobs, who can take like a company to Apple levels. Now, I don't think Palantir can be Apple levels, but it doesn't have to be. The company can double and triple. It could be a $50 stock, it can be a $100 stock. This decade, in the next 6 years, right? It's 2024, we can have a lot of significant growth. So the strategic decisions that he's making, the long-term vision that he has, is very important to me, and I believe in the vision, which is why I invest in the stock. And then last but not least, increased demand for data security. Data security is very, very important. And actually, something about me that I don't mention on the channel is I've had a lot of jobs. I've actually tried many different jobs, and one of the jobs that I've had, I was like a job hopper, and I wanted to get a lot of experience because I always knew that I wasn't going to work for someone else. I was always going to be an investor. Or deep down, I already knew I was going to work for myself, start a business, or just invest, trade, etc. Right? So for me, I job hopped a lot, and I tried many different things. And one of my jobs was working for IBM, and I was there as a consultant, and I was a technology consultant, and I actually got to learn a lot about data security and privacy. And Palantir is very strong here, which is another trend. Now, it's not a mainstream trend, by the way. Data security and privacy is actually not a mainstream trend, but I know that it's very, very important for companies, and it makes a lot of money. In fact, Amazon, I have many friends, many students who I've coached over the years that work for Amazon, Google, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Adobe. I have many engineers, and just in general, data security and privacy, I know for a fact is growing very, very fast, because I can see by the salaries of engineers as well, the demand continues to rise. So with that being said, let's jump into my Palantir position. Let's go to trade options. I'm going to show you specifically a few simple strategies that I would use. And if you're a beginner with options, that's perfect, because I focus on beginners. I focus on helping beginners gain access to the strategies and the simple method of basically selling options for income. I think anyone can do this. Anyone, even if you've never traded an option before, can learn how to trade and generate income, whether even if you've never done it before. I honestly believe that, and I've seen it all the time, because that's basically the type of person that I help. So again, I will have a link for you guys in the description if you do want to join my bootcamp and learn how to do this yourself. So let's pick an expiration date. I'm going to go for August. I'm going to go to sell call. Okay. So the sell call that I'm going to do right now is basically a way to generate income. If you had 100 shares of Palantir, all you really need to do, this is like literally the only strategy that you can use to make money, is you can just sell covered calls. So you can see here how currently Palantir is at 26. Okay. I would say that you can sell the nearest to the money call. So this is the 27 call. You can see the strike price 27, and you can see here that the bid price, or just the premium here, is $1.78. So this $1.78 is how much you would get paid if you were to sell this call option. Now, I think selling this call option basically will be very good, because selling a call option means that you make the money right now, the 178, and now you have 100 shares and you have a call option which is covered by your 100 shares. So if Palantir moves up, then it's okay. You basically will have to sell it at 27, but that's really not that bad. If you bought it for 26, you can buy it right now for 26 and sell it for 27, and you will still get this $1.78, which is $178. So you'll get paid to enter this position, and you'll get paid to basically get rid of the stock in August 16 as I'm making this video. But basically just go out between 4 to 6 or even 8 weeks out on a covered call option. So this is exactly what I would do. I would run covered calls on Palantir right now. That is what I'm doing myself, and it's working out very well. Feel free to email me below if you have any questions. Make sure to check out my bootcamp. There is only 10 spots, and I will be working very closely to show you how to trade options for income. And throughout the program, I'll basically be there every single day to teach you exactly what I know and how you can copy and understand on a deep level how this stuff really works.